Properly and Missly poured my tea a bit early, so it's probably a bit chilled. First thing, ladies, when you handle your teacup, now, depending on the size table that you'll be taking your afternoon tea, it is not important to pick up the saucer. As this table is a little bit lower than myself, but it is a good height, and it is not necessary to pick up the saucer. Now, if you're at a very low table for afternoon tea, then of course you would pick the saucer up underneath your cup. Now, about your cup, ladies. It is your preference, but there is no rule that you must put your pinky out. If it helps you to balance your teacup, that is more than permissible. But my suggestion is on the handle, you grab with your fingers, the 3 fingers, and you hold it as that. And what I do is I just balance. I don't put the pinky way up in the air. I just balance so I can bring the cup to my mouth very, very properly, and then place it back quietly on the tea saucer. Now, when I am preparing my tea, the milk, of course, oh, that's a warm pot. Isn't it beautiful? All the engravings, oh, and that is a pot from my family. It's been in my family for many generations. It's just beautiful, and it's stamped everywhere in almost beautiful shells and florals and and all sorts of scrolls. It's just beautiful. So next you will, well, first actually, excuse Nellie. Nellie is forgetting. First, ladies, you must take your sugar, take your loose sugar, and you will add your desired amount. And in the time that you are trying to take care of things, do try not to clang items about. And then lastly, last, you will pour, seems to be hitting the teapot. And last, the milk goes in last. Now, gingerly place your cup back on the saucer. If you had to raise it to put your milk in, you may not need to when you're all sitting at a table that's right in front of you, other than to the side like I have it here. But I had it open both for Laddie and so I can, all of you can see me quite well. So now you will stir your tea, and it's a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That would be 12 to 6 o'clock, 12 to 6 o'clock, 12 to 6 o'clock. When you are done with your stirring of your tea, gently and quietly, suppose that wasn't very gentle, you will place your spoon behind your cup. And then you may have your tea. Very, very delicious. Now, moving on to your condiments. Always at a proper tea, you are to have, and I shall put these gloves aside, at a proper tea, you need to have the proper condiments available for your guests. Now, of course, clotted cream is very, very important, and the jam of your choice. Now, I chose for Miss Lee to serve me with the Devonshire clotted cream. And so when you have Devonshire clotted cream, and I can't quite show you here because Miss Lee has already done it for me, she takes such good care of me. The Devonshire, and I do hope Miss Nellie does not spill this on her gown, but I have a napkin here. Oh, my jam is taking a little bit of a ride. The clotted cream will go on first onto your dish, into your saucer. And then next to the clotted cream will be your jam of your choice. And you will place those. Gentlemen, I must speak to you. When you are having, and ladies, that's how you would place your condiments. Now, gentlemen, you are not going to take your spoon and spoon it normally. Miss Lee has already served me, but you will have your condiments. And gentlemen, pay attention, so you are most proper at Saturday's tea. You will have separate areas, separate containers of clotted cream as well as jam. Gentlemen, do not take your personal spoon and spoon the clotted cream or the jam to your pastries or to your scones. That's not proper. You first put the clotted cream, if it's the Devonshire, and put it on your dish or on your plate first, and then, and of course you are using the spoon, not your spoon, but you're using the spoon provided on the table for spooning out the jams. And then you put it right there, then you put the jam there right next to it. When you are ready, scones are just delicious, and this one is, and you will break it with your hands. Remember now, you will break it with your hands. Ladies, this is a fine example of why you do not wear your gloves. And also, can you imagine getting the clotted cream and the jam on your fine silk gloves or your net gloves? Goodness, causing more work for your domestics or possibly losing a pair of gloves to some stains. Once you have the scone opened, you will take, with your own knife, from your own plate, you will take a portion of clotted cream and you will put the clotted cream first. I like to do this because it then helps the cream to melt into the warm scones and gives it time to melt in, really soak in, as I would say it. And I do enjoy plenty of clotted Devonshire cream. Next, I will take my jam. Now, my jam that Miss Lee has provided is bilberry jam. Very good for your eyesight. And I will place that here on my scone. Of course, this will go back here. Probably should wipe it on my other scone so as not to make too much of a mess for Miss Lee. Gentlemen, when eating your scone, ladies, do pay attention, so in case they are found to be doing these naughty customs or these naughty things. Gentlemen, when eating your scone, you would eat one half at a time, right? You do not take the other half of your scone and fold it over onto the top and eat it as a sandwich. That is not proper, gentlemen. You may be tempted to do that, but please don't do that and have the proper manners. So ladies, please keep an eye on the gentlemen, that they are to take their scone and eat one half at a time. And just before each scone is when you will put your condiments. This one just has a little bit from my own knife there, and I will be ready to put more when I'm ready to eat it. They smell so very, very good. Well, Miss Lee was up all night preparing for this quaint little tea for me and Laddie, and Laddie's not even here to enjoy the tea. But I am here with you, and I'm quite enjoying it. So those are some of the things you must pay close attention to. Now, about the pot, the teapot, what I suggest is you pour a great deal of very hot water into your teapot, and then you throw the teapot cover over it to warm the pot and keep it warm. Then later you may, after it's been warmed, then you may dump out that water, and then now it depends on the type of teapot that you have or the way you might want to take tea. Now this pot here has an internal tea strainer. So if you didn't wish to have your tea leaves in the bottom of your cup, which can be interesting, we're going to talk about that, it would strain the tea leaves and they would stay inside the kettle here, inside the pot. If you wish to have, another way that there could be a tea strainer in there, and before we get to the tea leaves, when you are having your tea, you may wish to put the strainer on top of your cup and then pull the tea when the tea does not, if the tea is not properly strained, or that your teapot does not have that enhancement of a strainer, then you would just place the tea strainer on top of your cup, and it has the little clasps that will hold on to your teacup, and you will pour your tea, and the tea leaves will stay in the strainer, and you will just have the tea at the bottom of the cup. Once the teapot is warmed, you will pour out that other water. Now you will add your tea leaves into your pot, or which I must tell you something that's very something that Aunt Lizzie has taught me, and I must share it with you. There is a wonderful, amusing thing about keeping the tea leaves in your cup. You see, at the end of your tea, when your tea's all been gone, when you've had the time of drinking every sip, at the bottom will be your tea leaves. So what we do is we take the tea leaves, or should I say Aunt Lizzie taught me this. You'll take the tea leaves and you'll turn your cup upside down on your saucer. The tea leaves will be on your saucer, and then you will turn your saucer, and do forgive me for not holding that by the handle. I'm trying to balance here and not make a mess. On the saucer, you will turn it 3 times to the right, 3 times to the left. And then you will look and see what you happen to see in your tea leaves. And many times you do this for each one of your guests, and it tells them what they may have coming up in their future. I do recall Aunt Lizzie once had read the tea leaves of one of our ladies, and she saw in the tea leaves, she saw dresses, she saw romance, and so within 6 months, the dear lady was married. So a bit of fun to add to your tea. Some more clanking. So, all right, I'm just making sure I haven't missed anything. Now, about the your attire, ladies, I know we're all wondering, what do we wear? Well, ladies, first of all, oh, and may I not forget to tell you, when you come to tea and you place your napkin on your lap, make sure the folded side is upward on your lap. And then when you are finished taking tea, you are to dab with your napkin on either side of your mouth, not wiping your whole entire face, gentlemen. Do pay attention, all right? So do dab gently, and please remember that etiquette. So, all right. So we're talking about the clothing. Well, gentlemen, you are expected to wear your morning suits. Those would be quite permissible, and in fact, preferred. Your striped trousers, your high neck shirt, Your waistcoat, normally a gray or white brocade waistcoat with the Prince Albert frock is the most suitable. Gentlemen, you can wear either your gray or your white gloves to escort your ladies. And of course, what is quite proper for all the teas are your beaver skin top hats, which are very, very becoming. That is one of my favorite hats for Tommy. He looks so handsome in it. So for your accessories, you may bring to the tea, you may bring a cotton lace woven shawl, as this one. And this one was given to me by Miss Doyle. It's just very, very soft and looks very nice and coordinates with my tea gown. And another type of accessory you may bring with you is your silk shawl, your embroidered silk, with a time-ever-telling lace, the lace edging that you see here. It's just beautiful. And I received this for my wedding. I still wear it to all my teas and my 1-year anniversary each year. And I still am wearing my wedding gown. Yes, I am. At each anniversary, ladies. Remember, the first 3 anniversaries, you wear your wedding gown. Another fine accessory, ladies, that is permissible for you to have with you are your pockets or your bags, your tea bags. Now, you shall have either, you can bring, and you want them to be very petite, very light, creams, laces, ecus, tea-stained. Those would be the most proper of bags to bring. Of course, I do understand you have to coordinate if you happen to have some colors in your wardrobe. So you would bring, this is a silk embroidered, a hand embroidered pocket, and this was a pocket that belonged to my mother and is quite old. It's been in the family quite some time, so I dare not pull on it. And it's got the beautiful knife pleating at the top for gathering, and the little string is still attached. Next, we have an ecru. I keep wanting to say that the wrong way. Maybe the tea is getting to me. All right, so another pocket, another lady's bag that you would bring with you is, this is a fine crocheted tea stain ecru, dark ecru bag with, of course, the fringe on the end. And once again, you have your ties at the top. And this bag was given to me at my wedding, and it is all fine crochet, as you can see, and the liner is a beautiful cotton liner. So I've many times since my wedding I have used this. It's gone to every one of my tea socials, and it stands up quite well, and as you can see there, quite beautiful. When you are storing your gloves and your purses and your shawls, make sure you do add some lavender sachets to keep them fresh, and of course to keep away the nasty spiders and anything else that might decide to make its way into your precious items. Now for your dresses, ladies, of course you always want to have tea-length gowns, as I am wearing. Nothing with the train, not for tea. The permissible tea gowns would be made of a fine handkerchief cotton lawn. Of course, you can also wear Irish crocheted items, which is so very, very popular. My gown is cotton lawn. I will be actually wearing this one to Saturday's tea given by Lady Perry. So I have the gown here, it's all cotton lawn, and you can see the lace insertion that's been placed in alternating levels of the cotton, and of course in the gown of the dress and at the hemline. And at the hem we have here more bars of lace insertion, and then of course more decoration towards the very hemline. Of course, I also have my coordinating tea boots on. As you can see, they're my white leather tea boots. Also, you may wear a lighter shoe. It would be also permissible for the tea. Nothing with a lot of sparkle or marquisette. Those are all marquisette. This is all for evening. And if I'm sure you've noticed, I have not presented black. Black, unless you are in mourning, which is absolutely permissible for your tea. Black is not to be used when attending afternoon tea socials. Now, quickly, you're wondering with high and low tea, the differences. High tea is literally more like a dinner where you'll be receiving meats and side dishes. In fact, we serve, with Aunt Lizzie and I serve an actual high tea to none other than our domestics on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. So to give them a wonderful treat for all their hard work throughout the year. So a high tea is more like a dinner. As elegant as this looks, this is considered a low tea. Delicious all the same. May I add, at the end, and I have this beautiful lemon wedge here that was made with orange flower water. And when you are having your pastries, remember, when you're at the end of your tea and you're about to have your pastry, you serve it with a small pastry fork, not a large one. Gentlemen, pay attention so you know what to use. Please do not pick it up in your fingers, your pastry. Everything else you may, but this you pick up and you use a tea fork, a pastry fork, always in your right hand, upturned, to enjoy your pastry dessert. Absolutely looks delicious, and I will be having that later. Well, I do hope everyone has enjoyed. I did want to mention something about Chinese tea very quickly. Chinese tea is, I've been learning from a wonderful lady by the name of Winifred, and she is from Asia, and she has taught me something about Chinese tea. And before they even serve the tea, they sanitize the teapot, the teacups, and if you notice, the teacups, and this was actually our first teacup without a handle, and later we found it was hard, ladies were spilling things on their gowns, so then we added the handle. But the Chinese tea is still served without the handle, and the teacups as well as the pot is clean initially with green tea. Then everything is served on a tea board where you may pour the green tea out. And then you would, into your teapot, you take your little spooner and you put a little bit of tea leaves per person, of jasmine tea leaves, into the pot. Then you pour the hot water. And there's a very wonderful and interesting tradition, and a long tradition that goes along with this, which I don't really have the time for today, but it is a wonderful tradition in having Chinese tea. And always when you attend Chinese tea, please do not cross your legs, ladies. That is one of the things that they ask. But I am nearing my end. I do hope you all had a wonderful afternoon tea with Nellie and at times Laddie. He's made his appearance a little bit here, and I'm making sure I have not forgotten anything. Oh, I must say, if you do wish to go to the library, there at the library, you can get a list of all the proper flowers that you would need for your table and your vines. I forgot to talk about this. The ivy, the vines, and all the different flowers. And you may use glass, large glasses, tumblers for the gentlemen's brandies. As long as they're tall enough, you may use those for water and make sure that your table flows, that you have all your flowers in your different vases and in your different tumblers. Some are high, some are low. Make sure there's a flow to them about the table, and it will flow with the vines and make it quite inviting for everyone. Well, I suppose that is it. And Ladies, do not forget when you attend a tea and when you attend Lady Perry's tea this Saturday, remember this one bit of etiquette. If you do enjoy yourself and you truly enjoy the tea and you should like to be invited back again, and to be certain you receive that invitation, you will take your linen napkin and you fold it back exactly, whether it be a square or long triangle. I know with Chinese tea they try to use the long triangle, but whatever way your napkin has either been folded, please fold it as you have found it, to the left of your place setting. Please do not leave it on your chair. Gentlemen, do not leave yours on the floor. Gentlemen, also remember that when you come to tea, if you are with a lady, please pull the chair out first for her and help her in before you seat yourselves. And that will be it. And I have one little warning for the gentlemen. Gentlemen, of course you recognize this. This is your pastime, cricket. Well, let me remind you, gentlemen, this is a most proper tea, and Lady Perry would not expect anything else from you. So, while you're here at tea, please do not make it into a gentleman's cricket match. Lady Perry and Uncle William would not appreciate that, and I might say you might invite an invitation from Mother Barbour and Aunt Lizzie in that regard. Well, I'm wishing you all a wonderful day, and now, so I can enjoy my tea, have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.